Hi all, my name is Nikita McWells and I will be presenting the article In Praise of the Incomplete Leader, which is the last article in HBR's 10 must-reads. So just an overview of the article and my presentation, I will be talking about the author's view and then going into the 4 leadership capabilities that they mention. Also talking about an incomplete leader versus an incompetent leader and how we can balance the 4 capabilities as managers. And then going into successful leaders in the 21st century that were mentioned in the article. And lastly, I'll have a question for you guys, my audience. So an incomplete leader is actually more beneficial to an organization than a leader who attempts to be complete and all-knowing. According to the authors, it is important for a leader to understand the 4 leadership capabilities that according to the authors, it is time to end the myth of the complete leader. This is someone who considers themselves flawless and at the top and who has it all figured out. The sooner leaders stop trying to be all things to all people, the better off their organizations will be. So as we dive into the 4 leadership capabilities, we'll have a better understanding of how one person cannot fully be all things to all people. So we have sense making, relating, visioning, and inventing. And of course, sense making is interpreting developments in the business environment, while relating is building trusting relationships, not only with your colleagues and your employees, but also with your consumers. While visioning is communicating a compelling image of the future, and inventing is coming up with new ways of doing things so that you're not staying stagnant. So as we take a deeper dive into the 4, sense making is constantly understanding changes in the business environment while also interpreting their ramifications for your industry or company. Relating is building trusting relationships, as mentioned before, while balancing advocacy and explaining your viewpoints with inquiry. So not only are you answering questions when your employees are confused, but you're also asking them questions to make yourself relatable. And this in turn cultivates networks of supportive confidants, which is what you need in order to run a successful business. You need your employees on your side. And then there's visioning, creating credible and compelling images of a desired future that people in an organization want to create together. So not only does this promise your employees something grand and big, but it also allows them to take a sigh of relief that there is a vision for the company and that they do have a job. And then there's inventing, creating new ways of approaching tasks or overcoming problems to turn a vision into reality. So sometimes people think of inventing as creating a new product or an invention, but really sometimes it can also be having an idea to overcome a problem. We then go into an incomplete leader versus an incompetent leader. So an incomplete leader differs from an incompetent leader in that they understand what they're good at and what they're not. So they may only be good at 2 out of the 4 capabilities, and they have a good judgment about how they can work with others to build on their strengths, but also offset their limitations. So take the 2 capabilities that they may not be strong in and hand it off to a colleague or to an employee. And an incompetent leader then attempts to fulfill all 4 capabilities but ultimately fails, which causes the company to go down as well. So how can we balance the 4 capabilities? We have sense-making, relating, visioning, inventing, which are all independent, but without sense-making, there is no common view of reality from which to start. Without relating, people work in isolation and have different aims. And then without visioning, there's really no shared direction. And without inventing, the vision kind of just remains the vision. So we're not bringing it to life. So we have some successful leaders, Andy Grove, Intel chairman, who was a sense maker. And then we have Herb Kelleher, former CEO of Southwest Airlines, and he was really good at relating to his audience and also to his employees. And then of course the late Steve Jobs, Apple CEO, he was a visionary. And then we have Meg Whitman, CEO of eBay, who was an inventor. She brought the diversification of online shopping to life. Lastly, my question for you is there such a thing as a complete leader, and do you agree or disagree with the authors of this article? I'd love to hear from you guys, and thank you for watching.